So it's been an exciting opportunity for Salem County. We've been able to increase the number of stops that this scoot provides to seniors, for folks to get to doctor's appointments, for work, impacting our workforce development.
So it's really important to us to make sure that people have access to affordable, efficient transportation that gets them where they need to go.
Society does better when people are gainfully employed and can take care of themselves. So this investment is a good one.
Welcome to another episode of State House Minute. I'm Assemblywoman Heather Simmons.
I'm Assemblyman Dave Bailey.
And Senator John Burzichelli.
And the three of us were just talking about some unique needs that we have in our district because of its rural nature. And one of the issues is that we are very underserved when it comes to public transit, New Jersey Transit and other transportation options, and we're doing something about it.
We are, and so it really was a grassroots effort. We had conversations that started with President Mike Gorman at the Salem Community College. We started having other discussions with other local leaders within the community and the Chamber of Commerce, and out of that conversation, I said we really need to look to get additional transportation funding. That the state was throwing out some pilot programming and some pilot funding for micro-transit opportunities. We know that the New Jersey transit model just doesn't work in our rural neighborhoods. We've got to come up with other ideas. Thankfully, we already had a micro-transit option, the scoot option, here in Salem County. And so we got together, we got some grant writers to come on board with the discussion, and we were able to supply a $400,000 grant to Salem County. They applied. Of course, it was a grant that was open to all folks throughout the state, but they were one of the winners. And so we were glad to bring that information, some expertise, again, the leadership of bringing the groups together to have the discussions, certainly with Salem County's voice at the table, to come together with their health department that runs the scoot operation. We appreciate all their expertise, and June Cyber and what she brought to the table to this discussion. But we've been able to increase, Heather and John, the number of stops that this scoot provides to seniors, for folks to get to doctor's appointments, different opportunities for work and impacting our workforce development. So it's been an exciting opportunity for Salem County.
There's actually a similar service that runs on an east-west access in Gloucester County, and that's the Pure Land East-West Community Shuttle. And that's one that I was involved with for many years as a Gloucester County Commissioner, overseeing workforce and economic development, and that's where it kind of fell there. We were lucky enough to get $1 million grant from the Pascal Sykes Foundation to fund a transportation line that would run from Camden County, actually on the far east, all the way to Pure Land Industrial Park for $1 each way for any rider, with stops in the communities all along the way. And just like you said, Dave, this is for people to get to work, for people to get to doctor's appointments, to school, wherever they need to get. And it was particularly important to us to recognize that the bus transportation in and around Gloucester County really runs on a north-south access. So if you live in, say, Williamstown, which is not a part of our district, but people do live there. If you're living in Williamstown on the east side of Gloucester County and you don't have a car, you're really shut out of employment on the western side of the county, which are the major employers in the industrial parks along the Delaware River. So it's really important to us, just like Scoot is in Salem County, to make sure that people have access to affordable, efficient transportation that gets them where they need to go.
And Heather, very important reminder to those watching, public transportation does not make money. So it is a place of government to do some of these things. And Heather mentioned the nonprofit that's underwriting the Gloucester County line, the state's involved in the Salem County line, and these things have to be subsidized in order to work. But that's what government is supposed to do. So as these weeks unfold and you see us debating over this budget, there's a lot of things in the budget that mean something to people that we have to try to protect the very most vulnerable as the first line of discussion on what we take in, what we put in the budget, what we take out of the budget. These programs are very important.
Thanks for adding that point, John, and getting people where they need to go efficiently, safely. It isn't about making a profit, because it doesn't make a profit. There are a lot of things that government does solely because it doesn't make money. And it's not our job to make profits on these kinds of services, but it sure is our job to make sure that people are safe and they get where they need to go.
Yeah, and Heather, I always remind people that if you could make money moving people, Pennsylvania Railroad would still be in business. You can't make money moving people. So, but society does better when people are gainfully employed and can take care of themselves. So this investment is a good one.
And our district, as we know, is very unique. You know, we're a very, very rural district with our volume being very low. But that does not mean that our services have been any less than anybody from North Jersey or any other part of the state. We deserve the very best as well. And that's why we're fighting for you on these topics. It's been another episode of State House Minute. I'm Assemblyman Dave Bailey.
I'm Assemblywoman Heather Simmons.
And Senator John Burzichelli.